Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. It is March 11th, 2017, the year 5777. Hallelujah. So, today's portion, I'm going to jump around. You can read it yourself. I'm going to touch base on a few things. Exodus 28:20 through Exodus 30:10. And what this is getting into is, they're starting to set stuff up and set this order in motion. What do I mean? Well, we started to make last week. We started to make the promise sealed with blood. Moses goes up the mountain and receives the words written on stone, right? The gifts that are used in the tent meetings, the ark, the table, the lampstand, the tent, and now the altar, the courtyard, and now we're getting into the lamps in the tent, right? Let me read this one. For the lighting you must command the Israelites to bring pure virgin olive oil so that the lamps won't go out. In the tent of meeting outside the canopy, where the words of my promise are, Aaron and his descendants must keep the lamps lit in Yahuwah's presence from evening until morning. This is a permanent law among the Israelites for generations to come. Notice the evening until morning. Remember that Shabbat starts in the evening, not on the seventh day, not when the sun rises, but when the sun goes down on the sixth day. So that's interesting. So these holy clothes. So he's got holy clothes to wear, and let me skip down to here. He says, "Tell all those have the skill, those whom I have given this ability to." Now, remember, we all have gifts, right? And it was something that sometimes we just, have a natural talent for. Well, that's the Most High says, I did that. I gave you that, right? Sometimes we don't utilize these gifts, or sometimes we put them down and we get distracted with this cursed system that we're a part of. I find that. So let's skip over and we see what's going on here. So the ephod. Now I don't know what this is. EPHOD, and I believe it's right under the breastplate. Now it's got beautiful, creative works of gold, violet purple, red yarn in the fabric, and it's got a fastener at the top, right? So it kind of hangs down on you. Then we go to the breastplate, and then we go to the other clothes that Aaron and his sons go. Let me read a little bit of that. Make the robe that is worn with the ephod, or ephod, or ephod, I'm not sure. You turn it entirely of violet, I should say, material. Make the opening in the head, in the center, with a reinforced edge, like a leather collar. All around it, keep it to keep it from tearing. All around the hem of the robe, make pomegranates of violet, purple, bright red yarn, and gold bells at the bottom. And if you remember, they would sometimes send these priests in. They'd have these bells on the bottoms of their robes, right? And they would be jiggling all around. But if they went into the presence of the Most High, they had a rope tied around their waist. When they went in there and they weren't pure, and they had some evil in their hearts, which really lets you know when Yeshua says, "Hey, man, before you go, make sure you go heal things up with your brother before you go, right? Because when you go, you're going to be in the presence of the Most High. You got to come correct. So these guys would go in there with these bells on. They'd be ringing, ding-a-ding-ding, going in there, and all of a sudden they wouldn't hear a ring anymore. And they'd hear a thump. And then the rope that they had tied around their wrist, they'd start pulling that rope. And then there'd be a dead dude sitting right there. Because he went in. He didn't come correct. The Most High is pure, holy, Kadesh, righteous. You got to watch. You got to keep on the path. All right, so Aaron and his sons, the priests, we go into that. And then we go over here to 30 and go into the altar for incense. The counting of the Israelites, we talked about that already. The bronze basin, we spoke about that. I thought was very interesting as well. And we're at 6 minutes, so YouTube shuts me off. So let me go over here. How to deal with false prophets. I found this very interesting. This is Deuteronomy. I'm jumping ahead, but Deuteronomy 13:1. And one of your people claiming to be a prophet or have prophetic dreams may predict miraculous signs or amazing things. And what he predicts even may take place. That's interesting. But don't listen to that prophet or dreamer if he says, let's worship or serve another Elohim or El, Mighty One. Those gods, I'm just going to say the word gods, you may not have even heard of. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, is testing you to find out who you really love. Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart and all your soul. Worship Yahuwah, your Elohim, fear him and obey his commandments. Listen to what he says, serve him, and be loyal to him. So when you got people saying, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, you don't have to do this, you don't have to abide, you don't have to follow the rules pertaining to dietary laws and all this stuff, he's testing you. You know, Shaul, he wrote very confusing. You know, even Peter said that. He said, you know, you got to know Torah, you know, to understand his writings. It can be very confusing. And the Most High put it in Paul, Shaul, to write this way. So, to test your heart, right? To see where your heart is, your mind is, right? Okay. So, all right. So that's it today. It is Purim as well, celebration, Esther and redemption of the Israelites, and it's a holiday that for some people, I don't celebrate it. I'm appreciative of what took place, but it's not ordained by the Most High. And it's one of them things that they're dressing up, having a good old time, and you know, and that's fine. You know, being mindful of things that have taken place in the miracles in which the Most High has allowed to show the Israelites through time after time again. I love you, but you know, we have to be careful of some of these days and what we do upon them if they're not ordained by the Most High, in my opinion. Have a beautiful day, a Shabbat Shalom. You're welcome to read all these yourself. And I'm speeding through these things because YouTube turned me right off. Have a good day. Bye.